Okay, Grammaticus has asked us to try and put a little film together of our top 10 comic book covers. I've decided to go with American style comics only, because otherwise all you're going to have is 10 Brian Bolans from his days in 2000 AD, which would be a little bit samey. So here goes with number 10, and well, what a surprise, it's a Brian Boland cover. This is Animal Man number 5 from 1988. I think a lot of these comics not only have great art, but they have stories that make me want to keep them as well. Again, Boland's cover here, always impeccable. Wonderful details, very good at drawing figures. So he's definitely the first one for me. Yeah, I do like him. And we actually have a second Boland coming up, mostly trying to get him out of the system. But the one thing I also like is funny comics, book covers, or sillier or whatever ones. And here we have Judge Dredd, which is number 15. It was released in Canada, Australia, New Zealand and the UK from 1985. This is actually a reprint of early Dredd cases within the first like 3 or 4 years. I think Boland's got a great cover and great art as always, but what's special about this one for me is it's Dredd smiling. You just don't get to see Judge Dredd with a smile on his face. Next up we have again another comedy cover. This is The Demon number 19 from 1992. Val Zemeckis and Randy Elliott and Robin Bush doing colours, I think it was. I should maybe take these out of the packets, but yeah, it's just a very comedic cover. There's a baby demon at Edgecrin. Just makes me giggle a wee bit when I see it. Next we have, again, another comedy cover, I'm afraid, but this is also it's a lovely wee book, this one. This is Justice League Europe, issue number 6, with, let's see, I think it's Bart Sears and Pablo Marcos. Again, the coloration in this one is really quite clever, how they've superimposed to try and give you a kind of feeling of 3D between the teacher's legs. Nice art in it. Again, it's just really, I think it's more the way the image goes, and you've got Captain Aspen in the background. I will not talk in class. It's a good comic, very funny, but again, it's that sort of image of, I don't know, the cat. If you know the comic, you know what the cat means. Next we have the first of the big beasts, as it were, and this is Jack Kirby, 2001: A Space Odyssey from 1977. Again, Kirby's look is iconic. You don't really see anyone even trying to emulate it almost. This was eventually Machine Man, which I remember reading quite a lot of Machine Man when I was younger. Something about the character just I liked. And this was his origin story, really. I did have I remember having quite a few of them, but unfortunately my dad got rid of a lot of the stuff when I was a kid. I think I've maybe got one left. I can't even remember where. Anyway, 2001: Space Odyssey with the great Jack Kirby. Next up we have Captain America number 332 by Mike Zeck and Klaus Janson doing the colouring. That's from 1987. Again, it's an interesting comic book. As always, you keep a good story and you fall in love with the art, but this is just, it beautifully describes how he feels betrayed by the principle of America. And usually you have Abraham Lincoln with a tear on his face. Very nicely done. Fits the actual comic book itself very well, the story inside. Yeah, just looks so odd. Well, not odd, but fitting, but out of place for what he sees as a betrayal. Next up we have the Justice League America. Now I do like a good, a wee bit shiny there again, I do like a very good homage to TV, film, etc. This is Kevin Maguire from 1989, issue number 27. That deals with the deprogramming of Blue Beetle rather than the exorcism of Blue Beetle, just in case you're not sure exactly what's happened there. Amanda Waller, who looked far more terrifying in comic books than she ever did on the cinema screen. Just an iconic image repurposed for the needs of the book, I suppose. Next we have Weird War Tales. One of my favourite characters probably is the robot G.I. Joe. This was by Ross Andrew and Dick Giordano from 1981, issue 101. Again, you keep your favourites because you love the character, or again, art sometimes works well on its own, but mostly you have to have a connection to it. And as a kid, I just thought, that's amazing, that a robot soldier. It got a bit silly later on when you had his the robot dog and the robot cat, but still a very action-packed comic cover. What you expect to see. Not great art on the human, I admit, but wonderful detail on Joe there against his hero. Number 9 we have another big beast, I suppose, is Mike Mignola. I don't know how to pronounce that. And this is Batman number 453 from 1990. Again, his work with shadows is great. And I think the first time I ever came across his artwork was in a Phantom Stranger series, mini-series he'd done, 4 issues. It had some of the most amazing light and darkness. He does great things with shadows, with black and white, the way he performs the cover. I do like the way this was actually coloured, with keeping it muted tones. When I look at this and the way the demons, well, tombstone over the top of it, it kind of reminds me of a film that was actually a couple of years later, Bram Stoker's Dracula. So a lot of the artwork from that had this gothic feel to it. And it's just a really amazing cover, and a really amazing wee mini-series, that one as well. It was perhaps the darkest Riddler comic I'd ever came across. As a character, he was always sort of a slightly comedic one, but in this he was very dark, just driven, obsessive and dangerous, and just really great wee series, and a really great example of Mignola's art. Mignola, I don't know. Anyway, finally we have Moon Knight number 6 from 1985. Oops. And this is the Fister Koshi, and it's by Bill Sinecki. No, I can't say it's neither. Much like Mignola, he's a great one for working with light and dark. I think some of his best art was on, what was it called again? Damn, I forgot. Daredevil. No, it's gone anyway. Anyway, it's just a great use of light and dark and shadow, and it just stands out to me as one of the great comic book arts. I mean, as a setting, it's not really superhero-ish like Kirby's work would have been, but I don't look at that. I look at that and I see or feel the character. Anyway, that's my 10, which I think are just some of the best comic book art I possess currently. Each to their own, I suppose. I'll be interested to see what Grammaticus picks. Oops, and what you lads do as well. Thank you for your time. Tools.